possibility of Ben and Lindsay ending up together. The whole time I was on The Bachelor, 12 long weeks, I rarely broke down on camera. I held everything in until I was in the only truly private place available to contestants, the shower. Finally, alone, I would weep like Jason Mesnick. Never let them see you sweat was my motto. But thinking about Ben proposing to Lindsay had me on edge, prepared to lose it at any given moment. As I got ready that morning, I tried not to think about Lindsay and her super cheesy jokes. She had a weird habit of talking in third person, starting every sentence with Cox believes or Cox loves. I think she enjoyed shocking people with her last name and even threw her dad, Mr. Cox, into many conversations for good measure. I didn't want to think about Lindsay. Instead, I thought about Ben and his Cox. We had had sex 3 times in the fantasy suite at a hillside chalet in the beautiful Swiss town of Interlaken, so I couldn't wait to be with him again. My stomach dropped for what seemed like the 500th time. What the heck would I do if he didn't propose to me? I couldn't imagine it not happening. I deserved a fairy tale ending. I had started to seriously think of Ben as my boyfriend after I introduced him to my family in Arizona on our hometown date, and I was convinced we were together. If he broke up with me, it would be the ultimate betrayal, especially since he secretly told me on our fantasy suite date that he was madly in love with me. I knew I was head over heels in love with him, but could he possibly have been lying to me? It had crossed my mind a few times that maybe Ben was only doing the show to promote his winery in Sonoma. I tried to push the thought out of my brain, but that night I prepared myself for the worst case scenario, having my heart smashed into a million pieces. In my mind, I forced myself to rehearse my answer if he dumped me, or said he just wanted to keep dating casually. I couldn't just stand there, mouth hanging open. I decided that I would simply say, "Never contact me." Then I'd walk off in silence and completely ignore him. The uncertainty of what was going to happen kept me up all night. I tossed and turned, only getting a measly few hours of sleep. I didn't want to be out of it or groggy on the potential day of my very public engagement, but I just couldn't fall asleep. Honestly, I probably could have taken horse tranquilizers and it wouldn't have affected me. Though my eyes were burning from a restless night, when the camera swooped in at 6 a.m. to film me getting out of bed, I was wide awake and already pumping with adrenaline. Luckily, I was warned about the ambush, so I borrowed a floral, booby revealing nightie since I usually wear old t-shirts and sweats to bed. A few minutes before the crew came in, I sprang out of bed, brushed my teeth and hair, and splashed cold water on my face. I'd wish I had had an ice cube to rub all over my face. It's the oldest trick in the book on modeling shoots to not look puffy and like you just woke up. Then I crawled back into bed and waited for everyone to come in and surprise me. After shooting me getting out of bed and gazing with concern at the Matterhorn, again, they started to film me putting on makeup and my proposal dress. After a few interviews, I took the dress off and didn't put it on again until 3 hours later, so it wouldn't get wrinkled. I hated that dress. I had picked it out 3 days earlier with the fabulous Carrie Fettman, stylist for The Bachelor. Both Lindsay and I had to choose from the same 8 dresses. I was so disappointed. I thought I'd be wowed. Instead, as I walked around reviewing my choices, I thought, is this it? This can't be it. I knew immediately that Lindsay would pick the really girly, poofy, navy blue tube dress with feathers. I ended up with a black dress with sequins, long black gloves, and a white cape. Yes, a white cape. Under normal circumstances, I would not have been caught dead in that outfit. If I had known that there would only be a few dresses to choose from, I would have brought my own. I had pictured myself in a white gown with long sleeves and a low back. I never would have dreamed of getting engaged in this. Come on, black leather gloves? Carrie thought I should take them in case it was freezing out. I practiced taking the left one off in one quick motion if Ben kneeled down. Funny enough, the one thing Lindsay and I got to keep from the whole Bachelor experience was our finale dress. I'm saving mine for a future Halloween party. She sold hers and gave the money to an animal shelter charity. So I thought the dress was an epic fail. But should all go according to plan, my ring would be gorgeous. My handler told jeweler to the stars, Neil Lane, exactly what I liked. Cushion cut with a pave setting. Also, like a gift from